Tonight on Reporting Scotland, a victory for the government over the council tax freeze as local authorities look set to sign up. But it's claimed a settlement means big cuts to services. Good evening. It's been the focus of bitter dispute between local authorities and government, but tonight it seems every council in Scotland will accept another council tax freeze. But many authorities are adamant the government's terms are unacceptable and will result in hundreds of millions of pounds worth of cuts. Ministers say it's tough but fair. Here's our local government correspondent, Jamie McIver.
It was a high-stakes standoff, and now it looks like the Scottish government's won. Every council seems set to accept the government's funding deal, even though every single council, which isn't run by the SNP, claims the deal is simply unacceptable.
The difficulty that we've got is that despite increasing statutory duties, increased pressures that we've got, the Scottish Government have chosen to pass on what we think is disproportionate cuts to local government. Now, we'd obviously prepared for a cut in our budgets because that was flagged up to us. But the difficulty we've got is the cuts that we've seen have well outweighed what we expected.
The big problem for many councils this year is their budgets are lower than they'd forecast. In Stirling, they're contemplating doubling the cost of music tuition for some children. At Highland, staff have been asked to consider cutting their working hours or taking redundancy. Many councils across Scotland are going to agree how to spend their money a little later than usual this year so they can work out just what to do. This year there was a real possibility some councils would put up the council tax, but this rebellion was snuffed out.
The kind of accumulation of penalties that the Deputy First Minister has introduced mean it's just too expensive to think about raising council tax by anything that would be electorally or publicly acceptable.
Labour argues education could suffer, but some cuts simply aren't an option. Councils have to maintain the ratio of teachers to students, and primary school hours can't be cut. The government calls the deal challenging but fair.
This is a good deal. It puts funding forward for freezing the council tax, for delivering the living wage for social care staff, for for maintaining teacher-pupil numbers and for transforming social care. Those are good priorities, good policies. We hope everybody will sign up to it. This is a good deal and it's worth taking.
Of serious damage to the service.
Tough choices are never popular, so would voters pay more to maintain services?
I'm not sure, but I like to think so.
Well, they're really going to have to accept it and just cut services because many of people can't afford the tax, especially with the bedroom tax and all the other taxes that come into place. So, I mean, we find it a struggle for where we're living.
There's simple, basic economies that they could make to save, small bits of funds from their budget. But, a little bit here and a little bit there, it'll all add up to go a long way. And I reckon, actually, that if it was run more like the private sector, that you would see significant savings in their budgets.
Ultimately, the government holds the trump cards, but this has badly strained relations with some councils. Over the next few weeks, many of them will be deciding just how to spend their money. Jamie McIver, Reporting Scotland.